So, Nishant, first of all, I just want to say I'm so sorry to see you leave the Big Boss house. I mean, it's been a couple of days since you've departed. How are you feeling?
Yeah,
How have you been used
yeah.
to getting back to the life outside again?
Um, my first initial feeling when I got to know that the housemates are going to decide my future, I was pretty disappointed because I knew that they don't connect with me because um, I personally am a very different class of a human being than
Mm.
what the kind of scum you are seeing in the Big Boss house right now. They could never connect with me because they are just too classless and they're crass and cringe material in the house, and I cannot connect with those kind of people. So I knew that they're going to take my name because physically, one, I was the biggest threat in any task. Beating me was next to impossible when it comes to physical tasks. um,
Mm.
when there were any arguments in the house, I was the first one to be the most unbiased person with the most sensible point of view, because of which nobody liked me, because arguing with me, they could never win. And I always had the right approach of dealing with things, and they did not like that because they could not connect with me because, like I said, they are way,
Mm.
absolute crass cringe people. And see, audience is the ultimate barometer, I would say,
Mm.
in a show like Big Boss, because Big Boss audience ka show hai. You say that you make Big Boss for the janta, for the nation, for the
Mm.
millions of people who watch it,
Mm.
and their votes matter
Mm.
as what we believe. But till date, apart from Kavita, who had the lowest votes when she was in the red zone with me, she
Lowest
should
one.
have been, yeah, she should have been out of the house. Only she should have been out of the house. But sadly, I am, in spite of having millions of fans, millions of audience voting to save me, because they wanted me there, they loved me, they loved my dignity, they loved my self-respect, they loved my fair attitude in life. But I think it's just unfortunate that the housemates had the power to evict me.
So, do you think there's been a bit of a lenience towards like saving Jaan and prioritizing Eijaz as well? Because I think it's
Yeah,
coming across a bit too apparent now.
a lot of people are saying that, and the way it's looking is also like that. Um, John has sheepishly, or I don't know how, but he's escaped a lot of nominations. He's escaped a lot of
Mm.
times when he should have been evicted, and everybody expected him to get evicted. But somehow the rules and everything which keep changing in that house have worked out well for him and Eijaz, because even in the captaincy task, by all fair rules, Abhinav was the one who was supposed to be the captain of that task. He
Mm.
should have won because he was the last person on his vehicle. He was the last person holding his bag inside the basket. All technicalities, favored Abhinav.
Right.
So did the Sanchalak, Naina Singh. She also thought that, by rules, Abhinav should be the captain.
Mm.
But Big Boss asked a very direct question to the Sanchalak that whose bag was outside. That's all we want to know. Which has never happened in front of me. Always Big Boss gives the Sanchalak the right to declare the winner. What do
Mm.
you think? Who should be the winner? The Sanchalak always tells this fact. But this time, Big Boss did not do that. Big Boss only asked Naina whose bag was outside.
Mm.
And that by default made Eijaz the captain of the house. And then the whole politics and the whole unfortunate events started happening, where I went to the red zone and Jaan got me in the red zone, and then I got evicted by the housemates only. It was all a pre-planned strategy, I think.
Oh,
And they
definitely.
somehow got lucky.
Mm. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that as well. But also I think your captaincy as well. I think a lot of us felt a little bit underwhelmed. I think if I've got to be honest with you, Nishant, I think we were expecting you to kind of like, because when you went in the house, the sort of premise you showed when you were on stage with Salman and I think with Shehzad and
Yeah.
Sarah, I think, there was that promise that you'd be that guy who would take center stage and who would basically be a good leader. But I think your captaincy, I think, kind of it wasn't up to the mark. And I think you've
It
probably.
wasn't. It was definitely not. I agree. The reason I'll tell you, reason was that, see, I'm not an avid Big Boss watcher. I've never watched Big Boss seasons. I was not aware of exactly what the format details are. I know what the format is, but I didn't know the details. And only when I got offered this year's Bigg Boss and I wanted to experiment and I wanted to go for this adventure, I started watching last year's season. And that too, I saw like 15, 20 episodes. So I never knew exactly the duties and rights of a captain. Okay. Everybody wanted me to be the captain. I wanted to be the captain and I became the captain, the first captain of Bigg Boss 14. But I requested Bigg Boss immediately that please call me to the confession room. I want to know what my duties are. I want to know what my rights are. I am a little confused because I'm not aware of the captaincy factor in this house. I don't know exactly how it works. Usually, whenever something happens in the house, be it any task or anything, you get a folder with Bigg Boss's instructions where he explains everything to you. That this is the method, this is the procedure, this is exactly how this task or this activity should happen. Yeah. But I was expecting the same for my captaincy. I thought I'm the first captain. Definitely Bigg Boss will send something which will guide me on how to be a good captain or what all I have to take care of. But I never received that. And then other people like Nikki and Jaan who have a lot of experience of watching Bigg Boss in all these years, they knew where all they can trap me. And they did that. First, they went to the red zone. Next day, they called me to the room and started talking about Rahul and nomination. Then I gave my point of view innocently. And that went against me completely because as the captain, I cannot give a point of view on the nominations of the house.
Yeah.
Going to happen.
No, that was
so
basic
rule. Yeah. So
no.
I think I was taken advantage of because I was trusting these people. I thought they're my friends, and they turned out to be snakes. Nothing more.
So I guess it would be right to say that you've learned to be careful who you trust. I think in life as well, right? As a valuable lesson.
Yeah, that's the life lesson I've received in the last 5 weeks that I was in the Bigg Boss house. The biggest lesson I've learned is not to trust people on words, on what they speak, because a lot of people lie. Because I see the world as how I am. I always think, why would somebody lie? Why wouldn't people just be honest and just say the truth? But there are a lot of people who breathe and lie at the same time. It's a subconscious process for them. And I've come across these kind of people. Like Eijaz is the liar of the first order. He's a psycho. He's lost his head. I don't know when, but he has lost it. He needs medical help. He in the beginning couple of weeks, you know what he told me? He told me one day that I get this vision, Nishant, that someday when everybody is sleeping in the house, I take that big knife and I go up to somebody's bed, sit on their chest, and then I'm slashing and the blood is coming on my face and I'm laughing and I'm cleaning.
What?
The same expression that you have, I had that. And I was like, is he acting psycho or is he a psycho? But I thought definitely he must not be a psycho. That's why he's in the show. Maybe he's doing it for the cameras. But with time, I realized, no, bro, this thing is completely... There's a screw loose. He's seriously an obsessive, dangerous man to know. And he also knows that, I think. That's why he doesn't do anything on his own. He always has this group of 3-4 negative people with him who are supporting him because he's the captain and he's made deals with them. And I think lying and cheating and backstabbing people is all that these people understand. They don't know any other way of living life.
Right. So, I mean, now that you've come out of the house, what are your goals now? And has your opinions changed on anyone in the house right now after watching the show as a viewer?
No, my opinions more or less have been correct of what I had inside the house. Bahar nikal ke bhi I've seen a lot of episodes and I've noticed that I was right about many people. Of course, I took my time. Of course, I gave a lot of benefit of doubt to a lot of people, which went against me. And they thought it's my weakness. But all these qualities that I have of being a good human being, I am proud of them. And I would not give them up for any trophy or any amount of money like these people would. Yeah. My principles, my moral values are in my blood. My parents have taught me that since I was a child. And I cannot let go of them just for my benefit or my selfish intentions. And if being this human being that I am, if I did not fit in the Bigg Boss world, I'm proud that I could not fit in that kind of a cheap world where these people are thriving.
No, absolutely. Hats off. And I think that's the thing. I think it's a very different season. I think had it been maybe last year, I think maybe perhaps your approach would have been different as well, because things are constantly changing as well in the Bigg Boss house. It's very unpredictable. of what's going to happen next. A contestant who we think is popular might quite conveniently be removed as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Yeah.
that's the shocking part of it all. But now that you've done Big Boss, which is obviously like the biggest like reality show of India, what are your plans now? Do you think it's helped you in a way, perhaps to open more doors professionally for you?
That only time will tell. But I am right now just getting back to my normal routine. My professional meetings are all in place. There are a few good things lined up already, and more are on the way.
Okay.
But how and how much benefit I get from this stint in Big Boss, these 5 weeks of presence in the Big Boss house, only time will tell that. Right now, I'm going with the flow. I don't have a particular plan of how I want to shape my career from here, because plans never work out the way you want them to, especially when it comes to your career. God always has a better plan or a different plan for you.
Yes.
So I believe in God a lot. I'm a very spiritual person. So I've left my life completely in His hands, and I'm sure with time we'll find out what's up.
Right. And before I let you go as well, I know obviously, like I said, scene to पलटता ही है, मतलब Big Boss में. I think scene का पूरा format ही पलट चुका है. I think for Big Boss का, I think this year. So now that that's happened, and obviously we might even have new contestants coming in as well, potentially, because obviously wildcards are always like coming and going on Big Boss generally. But who do you see as a winner, regardless of whether they win or not? Who do you see as a winner potential in the house?
I think potential is there in Rubina and Jasmine right now to go till the end, because they are not they haven't yet sacrificed their goodness and their real personalities just to be seen on camera and just to have a little bit more time on the episode. So I think keeping that in mind, still they're going strong. So I think they've kind of struck a good balance between what they should do and what they should not do, and their real self is not yet compromised. So I think they can go the long way if they stick to this and they just be themselves and be the honest, real person that they are.
You know what, Nishant? I think it's just such a shame to see you and Kavita go, actually, because I think both of you were very capable contestants. Wishing you all the very best for the future.
Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Nishant. Thank you so much.